Do we or do we not live in a democracy? Innocent until proven guilty used to be a core tenet of a democratic state. We seem to have done away with the entire facade. The accusations against Russell Brand are coming in thick and fast, and it should be noted, if they are true, it is absolutely awful, and if he is proven guilty in a court of law, we should expect him to face severe consequences. But that is just the point, isn't it? Even a man like Brand deserves due process. Mainstream media has become judge, jury, and executioner. It leaves one wondering, what is their motivation? In the instance of Russell Brand, Channel 4 and The Times teamed up together in a massive takedown and character assassination that has taken over the headlines of the legacy media for over a week now. Why? Well, he has amassed an audience bigger than both Channel 4 and The Times combined. Independent media like that is a threat to the establishment, especially when you start talking about things the establishment would rather you not, like this.
Have an economic system in which pharmaceutical companies benefit hugely from medical emergencies, where a military-industrial complex benefits from war, where energy companies benefit from energy crises. You are going to generate states of perpetual crisis, where the interests of ordinary people separate from the interests of the elite.
The Times is paying to advertise their story on social media. So if the accusers turn out to be victims, the Times is paying to promote their trauma. If the accused is innocent, the Times is paying to promote a lie. Surely this highlights why the correct place for accusers to go is to the police and not to the mainstream media. And it seems they didn't go to either, actually. It's the media who sought them out. I cannot wait for the Times and Channel 4 to collaborate again, this time to name the names of high-profile individuals on Epstein's list. I wonder when they'll be airing the Dispatches special about Epstein's Island, but I won't hold my breath. But this goes much further than legacy media. Our democratically elected parliament has been getting involved too, in an incredible case of state overreach. Rumble, a pro-free speech alternative to YouTube, made it known this week that they had received a letter from the chair of the Culture, Media and Sport Committee, putting pressure on Rumble to cut Brand off from his revenue stream. TikTok, Twitter, and apparently YouTube all received the same. Here we have a case of UK Parliament engaging directly in cancel culture. The very people who should be protecting the presumption of innocence have done away with it and are actively seeking to ruin a man and leave his family to fend for themselves. Again, we must ask, why? Caroline Dinenage, the chair of CM&S, her full title is the Right Honourable the Lady Lancaster of Kimbolton. Her husband is Major General the Right Honourable the Lord Lancaster of Kimbolton. Major General Lancaster was Deputy Commander of the 77th Brigade from June 2018 until July 2020. The 77th Brigade is the UK government's disinformation unit. They use social media to manipulate the British public through psyops and propaganda. Cancel culture is their modus operandi. Dame Dinenage also wrote to us, to my boss at GB News, to complain about one of our presenters, Bev Turner. She claimed Bev was not showing impartiality. How ironic. This is a nonsense. Bev Turner and Andrew Pearce co-presented on the programme in question and both strongly disagreed on this matter. There was a balance of opinions. Dame Dinenage has sent numerous letters of this type to media companies, well beyond her remit. The question is, was she acting alone as chairman or in knowledge of the entire committee? I say that Dame Dinenage needs to apologise and resign, effective immediately, and perhaps the entire committee needs to be disbanded too. The worst thing about all of this is that the accusers cannot get justice and the accused cannot go to fair trial. If the accusers do turn out to have been victims of a crime, they're unlikely to obtain justice because the establishment, both the mainstream media and Parliament, have interfered beyond belief. I hope the accusers were not victims, and if they were, that they are able to find relevant support. Likewise, Russell Brand cannot get a fair hearing when the establishment has already determined his guilt. Establishment overreach has undermined the presumption of innocence. Parliament has run roughshod over his civil liberties. And I've never actually been a fan of Brand personally, although it does seem he has grown out of his crass degenerate stage, and I hope he has repented. But regardless of all of that, it's clear that this is an orchestrated character assassination attempt, and we have to keep asking the question, why?